Okay, So Lonely. It's a great 3 or 4 chord song. It's really pretty much the same 4 chords going over and over again, but a lot of interesting variation throughout, especially in the rhythms involved. So starting out, well, the backbeat is very important to this song, so I will include the backbeat here. It starts with the backbeat, and you have to hop onto the first chord pretty quickly after the first backbeat. So often I use my thumb. In this case, I kind of just smack my whole hand against it and get it ready for the first note. So the first note, hitting the bass note, and right after, a little bit of the reggae feel here. What I'm actually doing is I'm using my index and middle on the G and B strings, and I'm going downstroke, then a quick upstroke. So that's what I'm doing anyway, as I go. So smack, then the bass note, smack, bass note, then like that. But you can really do anything to fill in that space there. The important thing is the smack that starts the song, then the bass note. You know, it'd be fine to just hit that once. Then you're on to the melody. And to provide variation, the very first time through I really just did bass note and melody. Then the second time through, well, the last half of the first verse, then I added some harmony. So to begin with, here we go again. Okay, just that first melody, and then very similarly the second line. But going to this F add 9. Then the vocal line really repeats as with the very first one. And I'm just filling in the space in between. I mean, I notated what I did, but you can sort of do anything to fill in the space at the end of that line. You know, you can just repeat that, or just let it hang. Sort of anything you want to choose to do just to fill out the last few beats for the next bar. And then halfway through, after that goes 4 times, then I'm adding some harmony into it. And that repeats exactly like that, the 4 times. And the very first part of that, the very first note, you can either play like this, on the G and E strings, or here on the B and E strings. Either way, whichever is more comfortable. Okay, you go through that 4 times, and then you're into the chorus. And so the last time through, going into the chorus, then it's a little bit tricky here. So. Okay, so you need to hit the backbeat, and then go to bass notes. So alone. I slide up to the C, then hit the F as a bass note, and then on the backbeat, I'm hitting the A on the E string and hammering on the G on the B string. So again, really slowly. And then you're into the chorus. Okay, and the chorus is a bit complicated too, just with getting to the right place at the right time. So the very first part of it. Okay, and I'm moving down here and actually getting ready for the next bass note. So, see, I've got my index down there. I'm not playing it yet, but just I have it ready for the next bar. Then I'm hitting the G an octave up. Once again, I'm doing the slap, hammering on the G, then using the open A string, then doing a pull off, so I'm closer to hit this F. And for that little figure that comes back throughout the chorus, through the whole song, I'm I'm slapping with my thumb on the open E, hammering on, and then using my fingers to pull up on the rest of the notes of the F. So again, that chorus bit. Okay. Second verse, now I came down an octave. It's a very similar melody, a bit of variation, but now I'm doing it down an octave. Now here is definitely different. All dressed up and nowhere to go. All made up and nowhere to go. Okay, hitting that big F power chord. Okay, and that's with the first verse. Now I'm harmonizing the second half of it. Again, exactly the same 4 times. Okay, then at the very end of it, to jump into the chorus. Okay. And into the chorus, and I'm doing the first half of it in first position. That same F, slap and hitting notes. Do that twice, and then up an octave, exactly what I did the first chorus. Okay, then here we do a key change, and we go into the guitar solo. So, just slide. So I notated the solo that I did. You obviously can do whatever kind of solo you want. I'm not playing exactly what Andy Summers played here, but what I did is to switch to the D. I'm hitting the open D string and I'm going up here. So I'm keeping the back beat and then going through the 4 chords of the chorus, the D, A, B minor, G. Okay, on and on, those bars. Just sort of improvising, going down the first position over those 4 chords. And then at the very end of that, I did a repeated figure over the four bass notes. So I'm doing a hammer on and then a pluck. And over the 4 chords, so D, A, B minor, and G to finish up. So. And just kind of keeping that going for 4 bars to finish out the solo. Then I'm going right back into the chorus, up here. Now we're in the different key, so now down here instead of an F, it's a G. The same thing where I'm slapping the bass note and pulling up like that. Repeat that again, the chorus. Or the last one you might want to go over the B. Hit your lonely there. So you're ready here for the G. Then I quieted things down and went down to the first position, and I'm muting here with my right hand. This is very loose also, just sort of echoing the chorus melody. And adding the back beat. Again, bring the backbeat back on 2 and 4 after having it just on the 3. Pulling off there. Again, that same figure. Okay. Again. Okay. And then adding the backbeat on every quarter and strumming to finish it. And it's hard to be very precise here. You're not going to get the real clear melody dun, 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 while you're strumming. But you can suggest it. Just by basically muting, and then only fretting the melody notes when it's time to actually play them. So. Twice, and at the end, repeat this figure again. So I'm doing the slap on the G, then upstroke, going down a fret, and ending just the D power chord. Hope you find this useful. As always, send me any questions you might have. Thanks.